Hey, welcome to today's video. I'm Kim and I am sitting down to plan out for the month of July in my planner. And I'm inviting you to come along with me. So I thank you for joining me on today's video. And I'll get started by clearing some of this stuff out of the way. So I will explain though that I'm currently using a Hobonichi cousin that I've cut down from A5 size to standard traveler's notebook size. I feel like I don't mention that enough for new viewers, but that's the one I'm using. I do have more videos about this on my channel about how I cut it down and how I'm using it. So feel free to check those out if you want more information about that. Also, I'll be using the monthly subscription kit from Sterling Ink. So I have that right here with me and ready. And what else? I think that's all that I need to start out with. So let's open her up and let's get started. So I'm gonna need to switch this calendar out, but I will wait until July actually gets here. We've got a few more days until that happens. Today is actually the 28th. And then what else? I need this. And I got everything out of this little envelope. Okay. So these are the items that I use to set up the monthly and the weekly and my collection pages for the month. So all of that is out and ready. And I did go ahead and do one of these pages. I normally do like a summary page when I get the subscription kit so that I know which, or I have an idea of which markers I'm going to be using and which washi tapes I'll be using throughout the month to have the most cohesive looking spread as possible. And I'm also already done my currently inked for the month of July. That video will actually be out next week, so make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss that. So the pen that I'll be using for July is going to be this one, along with the ink, which is Diamine Chocolate Brown. So I'll be using this to set up my monthly and to write all the things in there. And yeah, so I'm ready. Okay, so this is June. Just a quick little overview. Like I said, June is almost over. And I have my little sticky note with appointments and things that I need to remember. I'll leave that one there. And I'll leave that one there. So the good thing about the monthly calendar for July is that we have this whole border up top to use for deco. So I'm going to stick to the format that I've been using for the past 6 previous months of 2023, which is typically to use or to put up like a bigger, well, the month label up at the top, and then some washi along with one of the border stickers that comes from this sheet here. And these are the border stickers, which may be a little difficult to see, so I'll use either that one or this one. Just looking at it right now, I'll probably opt for the one on the top because it has a bit more color. This one has less color, but I think I want the most color, so that's what I'm leaning towards. And then I will usually use, like I said, some washi up there as well. And I think I'll also use maybe one of these longer washi strips down at the bottom, which I do want to do. I guess my hesitation comes from I feel like I need more color down here as well. So I'm gonna have to pair that with one of these washis here. And that's fine, I just have to pick which one. So flipping back to that page that I had set up, of course everything in me is leaning towards green, and it's like this darker green kind of color, but I kind of like this one as well. And usually when I do this, I'll pair 2 washis but I feel like I just can't pair 2 grid washies. That's just crazy talk in my mind, in my brain. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I could do, where are you? I could do, oh, maybe like this washi with one of these other colors. I kind of like that. But which color though? I feel like the brownish color is a little unexpected. And then the greenish color, I know I used it someplace. I used it in January. So I mean, it's no big deal. I could of course use it again. But, okay, I'm going with the brown. I just talked myself into it. So, oh, and on the bottom, that's what I was saying. I want to use one of these larger washi strips and overlap it over, I think, this brown washi. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to start right now at the bottom. So I'm going to need what? So I use my pencil to mark where I'm going to cut this washi to like split it. Should I do it there? I don't like that the 31st is half a box. I don't have anything going on that day, but I still don't have to like it. So let's see, maybe, no, that doesn't make any sense. I'm trying not to cut this one in half, this little like piece, but I'm going to. I'm just gonna have to do it. Okay, so I'll slice right there, and it's gonna reach from here to here. I'm trying to decide if I want to put the washi all the way across from like this box all the way to the end of the page, and I do. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Originally I thought that I would also split this washi in half to make it not so tall, but nope, I'll leave it full height. And that one's kind of crooked. So, oh gosh, I guess that's not going across. Just ripped that terribly, but it's fine. So summer vacation is in full swing. The kids are home. It is feeling like summer outside. I do have my windows wide open, so you probably can hear some outside noise. Luckily, no one has started landscaping just yet, which is actually a little bit of a surprise, and I hope I didn't just jinx myself. But yep, summer's here and I'm excited. Summer is absolutely my favorite season. That's a little sticky note that I have to remind myself to ask my dermatologist about something when I go later in the month. Though I'm probably not gonna forget. I've been like hounding him about it. So it's not likely that I'm gonna forget, but anyway. So yes, I'm excited about summer. I'm excited about summer vacations. I'm excited about beach trips. I'm excited about all of that stuff. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I probably have. I live in New Jersey, so we, you know, have the Jersey Shore, and it's like a thing, and you always go. And I feel like the last few years we haven't gone enough. We haven't gone enough. We should be going to the Jersey Shore a lot more. So that's something that I want to do this year. I say it every year. I honestly do. And it doesn't happen every year. But a girl can dream. You know, maybe we'll try. We'll try hard this year to actually get there a few times throughout the month. So I am going to use the July along with this little border sticker. I just want to make sure they're not going to overlap too much, which they will not. And I'm going to put, I think I'll put this washi all the way across, but not this full height of it. So I will rip this in half, more or less, and then we'll save that other half for later. Maybe I'll use it in a weekly spread somewhere. But then this should go here. Alright, so we'll overlap that on the grid washi. It doesn't have a lot of green in it, and I guess that's okay. I'll bring more green in with the use of some smaller stickers throughout the month. Oh, that's another thing I didn't plan. I don't know what stickers I'll be using to note appointments and reminders. I think I'll probably use these small icon stickers that come in the kit. Hopefully there's a good selection of them that I can use for that purpose. Okay, so there we have it. That's the basic outline for July, the top and the bottom deco. And then where's the small icons? That's these here. So I may be able to use them. So now I'm gonna look at my list of things that I have going on in the month to see what dates I need to mark or highlight or note. You know what I mean? So starting from the top, July 1st is something, July 2nd is something also. So I will split, what I do is split the Saturday box. Since cutting down the A5 size to standard size cut off the Sunday in the calendar, what I do is split the last box and use the top half for Saturday and the bottom half for Sunday, and it's working for me. I don't typically have a lot of stuff going on the weekends that I need to fill in on this monthly calendar, so I don't need a whole lot of space to do it. So Saturday the 2nd is something, and like I said, I do want to bring in more green, so I'll probably use some leaves. Let me see. I have some reminders of appointments I need to set. I know I have a nail appointment. Okay, so I think that'll work. So we will use this for what I have on the 2nd, and this can go here. It's like an all-day thing. So this cute little easel with a stool can go there. And oh, my doctor's appointment, I'll put something up in this little corner. Now I'm like, I don't want it to be green because there's a lot of green down here already. I can use another color that's somewhere in the kit, but none of them are small, really. You know what? What is on this? Where is it? Nothing really on there either. Okay, so I'll use this one. Oh, how about this orange little flower? This orange flower works. Put it there or there? I'd rather put it there. All right, so that's to denote my appointment. And I know I have nails on this day. can go there. I need to remind myself to get groceries delivered here. So I'm not going to use one of these icons, but I will use a marker to note that. Now the question is, which marker? Excuse me. All right, so 027 isn't bad. It's kind of leaning into that yellowish ochre kind of color. 026 is too bright. 977 is too blah. It's brown. I think we're going to use 027. So that's the one I'm going to use and put it there as a reminder for myself. And then I said the 12th I do have nails. Oh, something's going on this whole week. Okay. Shall I use a marker all across the bottom? I always hesitate to do something like that because I feel like I'll hate it. But we're just doing it. We're going with it. So this whole week. And then there's something actually happening this whole week. My goodness. All right. So that. And then this whole week, I'll use a different color. A different color. I'm not loving this. I have to admit. Maybe I'll do something to make myself more comfortable with those. And okay, what else? So I think that's it. I said the nail appointment. Yeah, that. Yep. Okay, so that's that. And then I do need to give myself some reminders of things that I need to schedule, or things that I need to plan for. What days I'm gonna film, what days I'm gonna edit. So these kind of just live on the monthly until I'm ready to move them up or move them around. And what did I say? Oh, that's a reminder for that day. So I think I'll put that there. Okay, so this is my general layout for the month of July, and as is typical, I'll come back and I'll actually write in all the things that I need to write in, and I might add a few more deco stickers in some unused spaces or unused boxes. Oh, I do have July 4th noted here, of course, with a little sticker from the planner spot. I may or may not add like a larger sticker there as well. I believe my office is closed on the 3rd and the 4th. So that would technically be something I want to note, right? Will I forget? No, we don't really forget that, but that's that. Okay, so I'll leave the monthly here, and then I'll go on to the next phase, which will be my collection pages for the month. All right, turns out I was filming and then my battery disconnected from the camera, and then I just lost all of what I was filming, but that's okay. To bring you up to speed, we are now starting my collection pages, and I've chosen where they're going to go. So this is the 28th, which is today. Then we have the 29th and the 30th, and then I like to do a monthly recap. So my June recap is going here. So then my collection pages will start here. There's going to be the tracker on the left, and then the one line a day on the right. And I've already put down a little bit of washi. I chose this thicker one from Paper Minty Studio that I'm going to do at the bottom, and then this next one I'm going to put right on top of it, this green grid washi. And that's going to go there. So that's going to just overlap right on top of there. I'll attempt to tear the end of that. That didn't really work out so well. It looks straight still. I was trying to make it so that it wouldn't look so straight. Also, while you were away, when my camera disconnected, I did cut this larger scene sticker because I wanted to fit right here in this right hand corner, but if it stayed full height it would be too tall and it would cut into my 1:31 that I'm going to place right there. So I did cut the very bottom off and it leaves like the bottom legs of the stool, and that's fine. Align that up terribly uneven. Ay, ay, ay. Trying to smooth that out. And okay, that's not too bad. And I also made it overlap the bottom of the page, which I'll go back and cut off soon enough. But for right now, let's get the numbers 1 to 31 down. And I use these from Randy.plans. So these are the 3.7mm number line. I have both horizontal and vertical, so I use the vertical for this side over here and the horizontal for this side over here, and I'm using the 3.7mm because that is what lines up with the Hobonichi cousin. So that goes there, there. I'm just trying to make sure. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to start from the bottom, and July does have 31 days, so we're using the entire strip. I'll start from the bottom, right there. Why don't I move this over? I could. Well, I don't ever really run out of space, so it's fine. Okay, anyway. So this line, just to make sure that 31 can fit and it doesn't overlap. Uh-oh. The scene sticker. If I could actually get the sticker down. There. So that's 16 through 31, and then I'll put 15 through 1 right above that. Alright, so that's that one for my one line a day side, and then for the tracker side, we'll start the same way. So right above the box. And put down the sticker that's 31 through 16, or 16 through 31, and then the 1 through 15 sticker. Of course, that one's a little crooked. It's cool. So that's that. And I do like to put the days, or the days of the week, up on the top, just so that I know what's going on. So it's Saturday. Alright, so is that right? Yes, July starts on a Saturday and ends on a Monday. That is correct. And now I'll put in the frame for the tracker. So this washi does cut into where I'll put my labels for the tracker, but I think it's gonna be okay. So now that we have that there, I will put some kind of floral element here. I like this one. I kind of feel like it needs more, so maybe I'll layer another floral somewhere. Okay, that's that one. Maybe I'll put another one here, but not just yet. Alright, so that is that. And then this is the framework that's good for these 2 pages. Next thing is my calendar. So it comes in the kit, it comes the B6 size vellum monthly calendar, and I have to cut that down. B6 is about 4.9 inches wide, and I need to cut it down to about 4.23 inches wide, so that it tips into the standard traveler's notebook size. So I always have to decide which side I'm cutting off. Unfortunately for this month, like if I cut this, I'm cutting a lot of those florals off. If I cut this, I'm cutting a lot of those off, and the pear, I can't cut the pear. So I'm gonna have to cut from this side. Do I don't think I need to open that all the way out. So like I said, we're going from, I'll go this way, to 4.25. A little slimmer, slightly slimmer than 4.25. And we'll tip that right in there. And of course, I don't have my transparent tape with me at the moment, but that's okay. So that's gonna go there, and then the next page is going to be blank. I think this was in the part of the video that got cut out, but normally I would put my goal and reflection pages here, but since I already used the blank sheet for the July swatches, that can't go here. So I'll just use this for some type of notes, inbox, something during the month, and then I'll put the goals and the reflections here on this page. And I'm gonna go right in up at the top with, I think, I was thinking I'd do that, maybe this wider washi there, or what I have been doing is using these 2 florals. Those are cute too. I think I'll use a wider washi strip, and before I do that, I'm going to cover this with some correction tape. A lot of times I don't, but when it gets to those weekend days in the Hobonichi Cousin that have those bright Saturday and Sunday labels, I do cover those up. So that's gonna go across the top of the page, and I'll mark where I'm gonna slice that. And I'm gonna put the other side down. Oh yeah. I'll put the other side down first. Because it has some parts of like the florals that stick above the washi, and I don't want to let any of those get cut off on the page. So yeah. Then I'll line this side up with that side, and I'm doing this at an angle so I can't tell at all where this is supposed to line up. Close enough. So that's that. There's not a lot of color on this page. I think I'm okay with that. So I've been calling the right side either the reflection page or the retrospective, and we'll do the same thing. I believe what I like to do is like a larger header with the marker, and I'm using 228, Tombow 228, because it's a lighter grayish kind of green color, and I think that'll look nice there. And these sections for the goals. There are 3 sections I'm gonna do, and not too thick of a border or a header type space. That's what those are gonna go. And this is my reflections side. So at the end of the month, or retrospective, so at the end of the month, end of July, I'll come here and I'll ask myself a few questions, answer a few questions. I will set that framework up now though. So this is where the questions that I ask myself at the end of the month, where I'm going to be answering them. And at the moment, my questions are all pretty much the same. At the moment. That's not to say I may not come up with different questions that I want to ask myself when July gets here. I may or may not. So I do leave the questions open until then. Where is my, here it is, my ruler. So when I'm ready to determine what the questions will be, I write them in this little spot there. All right. So those 2 pages are ready, and I'm going to again come back and fill in all the headers and everything before the final flip. So those are my collection pages for July, and next I'll move into weeklies for the month of July. So I'm gonna go ahead, same thing I did in June, was set up all 4 weeklies ahead of time just so that I'd have them done and out of the way, and it really works for me. So I'm gonna do the same thing this month. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll come back and I'll show you guys what I have set up. And we're back. So I have set up all of the things that I told you I was going to set up, and I will take you through everything that I've arranged for my July plan with me. All right, so we've got the monthly layout, and I did go in and write in a few things. I didn't write in everything. I wrote in the most important things. Other things I will update as we move through the month. I put some of my other little page flags to remind myself of things, so I have those parked and ready for when the month begins. I also added a little page flag to remind myself to schedule a few things like dentist appointments, getting my kids' physical forms filled out, and getting blood work for them. So July is set up and ready to go, and we're kind of leaning more in the brownish, ochre, kind of yellowish colors, and I do really like it. So then the next thing that we have for July are the weeklies. And as I mentioned, I put together like the framework for each of the weeklies, not appointments just yet. I don't do that until the week gets there, until I know exactly like that things aren't going to get canceled. Then everything gets filled in a little bit more once we get closer to the week. But for now, I have the framework ready for all 4 weeks of July. And I did lean heavily on the Sterling Ink subscription kit for most of the weeks, and I'll show you, like especially this first one. And then this one, I actually only have 1 Sterling Ink sticker here at the moment, and as the week progresses I will likely fill in more things throughout, especially on days where I don't have a lot going on. Like I put this large sticker here because I know that Tuesday is the 4th of July, so we're not doing a whole lot. So I know I won't need to schedule like appointments or anything on that day or even the Monday before. So that's why I decided to put the sticker there early. And the same thing will happen or may happen throughout the timetables for the coming weeks. But the framework is set for week 2 of July, which is technically week 28 of 2023, if that didn't confuse you already. And then we have week 3. So I started decorating week 3, and I know it looks a little bit bare, and the reason is because I'm not going to be around, or at least not near my planner, for much of this week. So then I was like, am I wasting stickers if I actually go through and decorate everything? So I left it here. I didn't even do like the little lines for the workouts or the meals and the workouts. I just left it pretty bare because I'm not sure if I'm gonna have my planner with me or what's gonna happen during this week. I know I'll be around for part of the week, just not the full week. So once this week gets here, then I will fill it in more as time goes by. And then the 4th week of July, I did add the little framework of where things are gonna go with my timetable, but I didn't add a whole lot of deco, and that's primarily because as we near towards the end of the week or the end of the month, I just wanna make sure that whatever stickers are left over after I've used them in my dailies or wherever else throughout my planner, that I do have enough to come through and add a bit more color to the pages. So that's why this one's a little bit bare. So I only have this one here. Also, I feel like there's another accent color I want to use in conjunction with this yellowish color, but I'm not sure because I feel like all of my weeks are pretty heavy on the brown. So I wanted to go in a slightly different direction. That's where I was trying to go with this spread, and that's where I intend to go with this spread as well. So the framework is set up and it's ready for me to start and to plot out things and appointments when the time approaches. So those are the weeklies for July. And then I do have my daily section, and I put the tab, here it is. I use the tab from the Sterling ink set to mark where July begins back in my daily pages, and I'm starting again from the left side. So January through June goes across the top here, and then I'm just starting again back towards the center for July through December. So July is here, and on the left is my tracker where I've taken a few things off of it from this current month, from June, because there were a few things that I realized I'm not interested in tracking. So I just took them off of it, and I have my 1 line a day set up on the right, and in the middle is, I did tip in the vellum calendar from Sterling ink. So that's those 2 pages, and then the next ones are where I had to skip over. So I already have the July swatch page, and then I wasn't sure what exactly I'm going to do with this. I will reserve it for some notes. They may or may not be July specific, I don't know, but that's what I'm going to have that page there for. And then the next section for my collection pages for the month go into my goals and my reflection. So the goals don't get filled in until July or until June is completely done. And I will migrate any goal tasks that didn't get completed in June. I may migrate them to July. I will reassess the types of things that I might want to focus on for July and maybe make up some new goals. So that's why this remains blank until about the 1st week of July. And on the right hand side is my reflection, where I will reflect on my month, and I will reflect in terms of what went well, what didn't go well, and those types of feelings and considerations. So of course I can't do that until July is over, but in the meantime, if I have any sticky notes or inbox type items that I need to park someplace, I would normally park them here throughout the month of July. So that pretty much sums up my entire setup for July. And just as I'm wrapping up, now I can start to hear all of the landscaping equipment start outside of my window. So that was pretty good timing. I'll have anything I mentioned in the video linked down below for you, and any of those other videos I referenced, I'll try to link them up in the cards as well as down below. If you have any questions or comments, of course, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll be sure to get right back to you. Thank you so much for following along with today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.